Quiet Fire 88.5 2 Triple R. You can find out more on my Instagram at Quiet Fire Radio. My name's Jeremy. This is Quiet Fire. Thank you so much for joining us on this rainy Friday afternoon. I have in the studio the artist we just played there. Yen, how are you?
I am good.
So good. Thank you so much for coming in today. You stayed dry on your trip here?
Yep, in my little Toyota Echo. It's got a few dings and scratches, but it keeps me dry, that's for sure.
Excellent. So last night you were at Oxford Art Factory performing alongside Racket. Can you tell me about that show? How did that go?
Oh, it was bloody amazing. I mean, I was looking forward to it a lot beforehand because she promotes her shows really well, I think. And she does a lot of it herself. This is Rebecca. I'm talking about the woman behind the magic of Racket, and she does amazing electro music, she's turning the tides from her past rock history, and she's going electro. And similarly to me, I'm doing similar electro things, and I was really excited to do a show with her because I know that she's so invested in what she's doing. And she actually got drag queens to come and perform during her set, so the energy was actually amazing the whole night. I think it was great. Yeah,
it's amazing. She's got a really, really great aesthetic, which
I agree.
I think is very cool. But speaking of people with great aesthetics, I've seen all of your music videos and the music, and it all gets wrapped up really tightly. The music videos sync in really well with the music as well, which is really cool.
That's great.
You were telling me that you, off air a moment ago, that you make the music videos yourself.
Yeah, sometimes I get other people to film them, obviously, if I want to be, in a moving shot. But I have actually made videos in the past where I've just sat the camera unattended and performed in front of it. So yeah, sometimes I make the videos literally just me, and I edit them and color grade them and stuff like that, and I really enjoy that. So
yeah, it's cool. Check it out online. You'll see them. The Yen Strange videos are very, very cool. Now, speaking of such things, the one that was most recently released was Electro Lover, the song we just heard. Whilst it's got a bit of quite a sort of pop sensibility, there seems like there's a narrative underneath it. Is that correct? Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah. So my friend, who I probably won't name, she came out of the closet as gay, and she started online dating, which I've always thought was like a bit weird. Online dating, a bit of a whole different world that I would never get into, and she really changed my mind about that. So I think the song starts out as like how online dating just seems really like you're gonna get catfished or something.
Yep.
And then the end of the song is actually because she actually found someone that she fell in love with.
Yep.
And when she met them, it was like real and it was really good. It changed my mind about it. So that's the end of the song, about how it was a good thing. In her case, it was a good thing, but I'm still cynical about online dating.
Yeah, right. No, I understand that. I think everyone felt that way about online dating about a decade ago, and now it's become so normal.
Yeah,
I guess that kind of might go into a little bit of what I wanted to ask you about your background. Like, you grew up in Wollongong, and
actually I didn't.
Sorry. Okay, go on. Tell me more.
I actually moved to Wollongong when I was 16.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I see.
A lot of people think that I'm from the Gong, but I grew up in a place called Maruya, and I was born in Maruya Hospital. Yep.
It's
a common response.
Where is Maruya?
It's about a 5-hour drive from here. It's on the coast, and it's the centre of the Eurobodalla Shire.
Yeah, right.
And it's near Batemans Bay. Some people know Batemans Bay.
Okay, so it's in the south nonetheless.
Yeah, it's been where like the fires have been recently, like where all the South Coast fires have been centred around.
Yeah, right. So moving to
crazy.
Wollongong as a 16-year-old was sort of moving to the big smoke of that area.
Yeah, it was crazy how many streets there were and how many people there were in school. I came from a primary school of 200, high school of 600, and then I went to performing arts high school of 1200, and I was like, what?
That's amazing. Yeah, right.
But I dealt with it pretty well, I think.
Yeah, you seem like someone who is a innate sort of natural creative, someone who's known your calling for a long period of time. What was growing up in that area like for someone like you?
It It was actually like really tricky. It's a common assumption, I think, that I've always been open and, you know, felt free to do whatever with my creativity, but I always was actually really embarrassed about it. And when I told everyone that I was going to like a performing arts high school in Wollongong, they were all like, oh, you know, you seem like a bit of a recluse. But like, I did drama ever since I was like 8, did classical piano, all that kind of stuff. I loved it, but it wasn't something that I felt proud of maybe until I became more of a pop musician, I think.
Yeah.
That was when I started feeling proud of it.
I think it's a fallacy to say that performers and creative types are innately outgoing in the first place. We kind of make that assumption based on the characters they're forced to play on social media or in the media at all, but it's not accurate, is it?
No, I think a lot of the time, yeah, it was really awkward to sort of, you know, it's really awkward to promote yourself as someone that is, you know, writing all these songs, and even to talk about the stories in the songs is really awkward, but making them is so fun. But it's like, when you actually have to explain yourself, it's really, really tricky for a lot of
that's right.
people that I know as well.
Yeah, that's right. But you do seem so natural. It's you have so much momentum already, so early in your career. I'm not going to tell people how old you are because that would be rude. But
I'm 19.
You are very young, and you have so much momentum, and you've got so much experience already in the industry. How did that happen so early and so quickly?
Oh, when I think about it, I just think, like, I've been really lucky, but I've had like a continuous goal for probably over 5 years, I think. I remember sitting down with my dad when I was just 16 maybe, 16 and a bit, and I was like, Dad, I want to go away. I don't want to live here anymore, and I want to, you know, I want to be in a place where I can be with other musicians, because there wasn't any there was musicians in Maria, but it's not like they weren't serious about it. So I wanted to go to a place where I was going to grow, and Dad just said no. Yeah, right. Okay. And I was like, well, that's not it. This is not the end of the story. This is a long way to go. Eventually, my mum and I moved to Wollongong, and after a lot of convincing of my mum, I was like, look, I'll just, you know, I'll make the most of it, and I'll do all this. And I really did. Like, I was shocked how you know, how much I fulfilled what I wanted to do. I formed 2 bands over the span of 2 years, played in huge, I don't know, maybe I played in a venue 2,000 capacity, couple of those, and supported people like Ruby Fields, the Preachers. I met Isabel Manfredi, which I'd been watching on TV, and absolutely crazy. I got a main role in a musical. Yeah. I was like, gosh, I played the witch in Into the Woods, right? I did that. I mean, it was pretty cool, and now I can produce my own music. I never even 5 years ago, if you told 13-year-old me or something that I'd be doing this, I'd just sort of be like, can I just do it now? I just want to go there now. That's sick. Yeah. So. Now, growing up is really, really hard for a lot of people, and particularly in those areas as well. I think there is a healthy music scene in Wollongong itself. Wollongong's great. Yeah. I think, and I think, you know what? I think it's because of the musicians that have grown up there that have created it. Not that everyone's the same there, but there's a lot of bands that want to follow in the footsteps of other bands, because they see people from these abnormal suburbs doing great things, and they're like, well, why can't I? Yeah. And I think the music that comes out of Wollongong as well, it in a sort of similar way to Newcastle, I don't want to confuse the two places, but a lot of the music that you hear out of Wollongong is a direct pushback to city slickers. It's this sort of, we don't want to sound like
like Sydney siders, there's wealthy. This is like they really forceful in something, having their own sound, and it's great. It's amazing.
That's so true. Definitely, people from Wollongong just like turn their noses up at North Sydney people. Like, there's like, oh, cover bands, like all they play is bloody the top 10. Yeah, no, there's a lot of that.
Now, speaking of your other bands, though, you've had a lot of success in the past in groups. We were looking at Friday Park.
That was the first band I ever formed.
The first band you ever formed, but they've also us, all of you have just released a single on Spotify.
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
It was like a 3-piece band when I was 16, and now it's 6. And we like take breaks on and off because we're more of a passion project, like something that's just for fun. And we're pretty much all like, when you look at us on stage, it's like a group of friends, and we think we're pretty cool. And the first song we released was called Stale Biscuit, and then we released one called Space, and I did all the production, so it was pretty like DIY sounding. And then we started getting some good gigs and getting paid, so we could afford to release music, that was recorded in studio. So Space was one of the ones that we released recently, remastered. So it sounds a bit better than it did when we released it initially, and when I just produced it. And Jonathan actually mixed and mastered it for us. He's like a pal of mine, and he's in Cry Club, which are a really, really inspirational band as well from like around Wollongong. And so Space was one of the first songs that we ever did, and it's really nostalgic for me.
Where does that name come from? Because it gives me a sense that you guys were getting together on the park at Fridays and maybe drinking long nights after school. Yeah, it's really got a strong sort of friendship.
Yeah, it's sick.
Essence about it.
It were in year 11 in high school. One of our friends, Chelsea, was sort of like making fun of us, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, you're starting a band with you or whatever." And she was like, "Oh, I'll get you a good band name," because she's real like, yeah, she sort of like supports us and also like makes fun of us in a funny way.
Yeah.
But she actually put it into like a band name generator. She like looked up like a random name.
Yeah.
And that came up, and like all the names that I was suggesting, everyone was like, "No, that's weird." So they're like, "Let's just do what Chelsea said." Yeah. And it was Friday Park, and I was like, "Well, that just sounds cool." So yeah.
That's very, very cool. Welcome back.
Hello.
So it was really, really great, to listen to both your sort of band output as well as your solo output. And in the break, we were talking a little bit about listening to your own music back. Tell me about that. Some people love that and some people hate it.
Well, like I said, like I produced a bit of the band stuff, a bit of my own stuff, so obviously I'm pretty familiar with making demos and everything. And when I get an idea and I'm like, "Oh, that'd be really cool," and I make a demo, I will just listen to it, because obviously, I mean, you're doing something wrong if you're making music that you don't like.
Yeah.
It's just, what's the point of that?
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's no crime in listening to your own music. If it's something you like, it's something you like. I mean, I think it's like harder when I make like a vocal mistake or something, but I find really gross, like when I like things like that, because you're just rushing demos.
Yeah.
Then I won't listen to that as much.
You just got an idea that you really need to get up.
Yeah, like I play a fair few instruments and I do like sampling and stuff. So for me to make a demo is something really fun and that I've gotten good at. So I'll just like make my own demos and have a listen to them. And
so what's the difference in dynamic in between making music in a group versus now moving into your solo?
A lot of the band stuff, like I would write the songs in full and bring it to the band, and they would add a few quirks to it and things like that. I feel like that I might not have thought of, which is kind of cool. And then solo, sometimes like no one at all will add anything to it, and that's also cool as well in its own way. So like I've been working on an EP with a mate of mine called Darcy for my solo music, and sometimes he'll say something, but most of the time he won't, because he knows that I know exactly what I want. And so I suppose in a band setting it's cool when people add things to it, because the sound of the music can
Yep.
have more influences on it. But like I said, like a lot of the music I write in full anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it becomes more pure when it's solo, right?
Yeah, it just becomes more like exactly what I envisioned. And then obviously when you're in band, like you take on other people's opinions as much as you can, and you get something different. So
what about in the live experience? What changes, I think, for you?
When I perform with a band, obviously it's 6 people on stage. It's like very warm and very exciting and very like I want to say, like there's a lot of vibes as far as like friendship vibes and things like that. When I perform solo, it's more about, I suppose, the music that I make and the stories that are unique to me.
Yep.
Yeah, and just...
So thematically it changes quite a lot as well.
Yeah, I think when I perform solo, I'm a little bit more serious, maybe.
Yep.
And when I perform in the band, it's more like, you know, we don't really worry too much about what people think of us or things like that. Whereas my solo music, I think I want people to like, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course. And but in the live environment as well with the band, you've got other people to fall back on as well. Like if you mess something up, or you sing a wrong note, or you play the wrong thing.
It's actually a really good point, because my friend Mel, who is the other vocalist in Friday Park, when I remember I'd like reach down to grab a drink and she'd run to the mic and she'd be covering like we're Friday Park, and like, so I don't have to talk all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas when I'm playing solo and I need to get a drink, it's like dead silent.
Yeah.
And that's really... I haven't quite tackled that yet. I don't know what I'm going to do about that, whether I need like a tap on me or something to get water.
Yeah.
But like, so...
Well, you're hoping the roar of applause fills in that.
The continuous, yeah. Yeah, but I'm still... I mean, as you can probably tell, I'm still sort of honing my solo set and how I make it... Yeah, like how I find what's interesting enough about just me that I can sell to people, rather than what's interesting about 6 people, because all us girls on stage is really interesting, and when it's just me, I'm like, oh, what am I going to do that like amplifies what's inside me?
Yeah.
But that's also really cool to visit that thought.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, but does it come natural to you to be so comfortable on stage solo? I mean, that seems like something that I would not be able to do, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I think, I've been doing drama. Like, I love acting and things like that. And I love acting on camera. So I'm pretty comfortable with the attention just being on me. And, yeah. But, yeah, it is a little bit more tense, I suppose, because, if something goes wrong, like you said, there's no one to fall back on, so it's more of a challenge.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Who were you inspired by when, for me, I'm a little bit older than you, and it seems to be in the last decade just this enormous proliferation of the female bedroom production, like powerhouse, that act. I mean, obviously... Billie Eilish is the culmination of all of those things. Who were
Billie Eilish is great.
Were there people that you really idolize in that space, more artsy people? I mean, there's even, you can look at Lorde and things like that. It's an enormous undertaking to be able to have the skills to be able to do all those first thing, have the talent and ability to do it, and put in the work to be confident enough to be talented across all of those to do it, isn't it?
Well, I mean, firstly, I learnt things off other people, because obviously I've been in bands, and I was in another band with 3 guys that would use a lot of effects pedals, which I knew nothing about. So I learned how to use effects pedals, and I learnt... more sort of like along the lines of that. And then in Friday Park, I would learn things off those girls as well, and like I would teach them things as well. So it's all about just spending a lot of time with musicians that have all got separate skills, I think. But I spent a lot of time just wanting to do things and Googling them. So I would want to do a certain thing and I would Google it. And then I figured out one day, oh, that's how people record. You need an interface to plug things in. It's not just on your phone or whatever. And then when I got an interface, there was 3 different programs that came with the interface and you could choose which one you wanted. And I originally chose Pro Tools and it didn't work on my computer for some reason because my computer was like an old thing.
Yep.
And then so I went to Ableton. And then I've been using Ableton for the last 3 years and it's real cool. So
that's amazing. That's amazing. What's coming up in the future for Yen Strange? What are you stylistically changing, or is there an album in the works? What's happening there?
So obviously, like with my solo music, I'm really drifting towards the whole electronica kind of vibe. But I do have a lot of songs coming out that have, no auto-tune, more sort of retro synths and things like that. And so I've got another single coming out on the 19th of February, which is not this Wednesday coming, but the Wednesday after. And it's, more of an indie pop sort of thing, no auto-tune, but synths, sampled drums, all those kind of things that I like. And then I've got an EP after that that's coming out later in the year. So, I'm really passionate about the music I make at the moment, and I'm looking forward to get it out there. Yeah.
When can we expect the EP? Or is that
like June?
Question. Okay, great, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Is that going to be released physically or exclusively on Spotify?
I'm gonna put on a CD if I can afford to.
Yeah.
It's like a 6-song thing. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That's very, very cool. So tell me about the song that we're about to play next, which is not an exclusive, but an exclusive. You said not to use the word exclusive, but it isn't exclusive.
It's not. I mean, I play it live all the time. Like, who cares? Yeah. I mean, it's like a pre-premiere, I suppose.
Kyle and Jackie don't have a copy of this.
No.
There you go. That's an
cool
exclusive in my language.
Yeah. It's coming. This song is called Wednesday, and it's coming out on the 19th of February. Made it all myself, and with a bit of help, obviously, mixing, mastering, stuff like that.
So is there a launch for this? When can we come and see?
Yeah, so on the 20th, the day after, I've got a show in Wollongong at a small art gallery at 3D. It's called 3D Studios. And I'm launching the single there with a band called Moon and another band called Morgs, which are really cool. And then I'm playing a show in Sydney the Saturday after that on the 22nd, and then another show in Wollongong that night. So I'm playing 2 shows in one day, just because.
Yeah,
and
cool.
Yeah, what else was I going to say? Oh, and it's also I made a music video for it as well, which is premiering the day before it's released, so the 18th at the Golden Age Cinema Bar.
Shout out to the Golden Age, an incredible bar, incredible local institution. If you haven't been there, you should go there and see Yen's single launch. But of course, go along there to the bar or anywhere. I
don't know if they've announced the event yet. But
incredible Negroni. Well, this is a worldwide exclusive here. We're letting everyone know for the first time. Yen, please tell me, please let everyone out there know where they can find out more about you and follow where those gigs are going to be.
My information central at the moment is Instagram. So if you follow me at yen_strange_, then you'll get my annoying face every day.
Excellent. It hasn't been that annoying. I've loved following you. It's been great.
Oh, thanks.
It's been great.
Try to be nice and colourful.
All right, guys. Well, we are cutting to a exclusive here, not a world exclusive, because Yen plays this song live all the time.
Yeah.
Let's call it a 2RRR exclusive. This song is called Wednesday by Yen Strange. It's been so nice having you here. I really appreciate you coming by. Thank you for coming and coming into the studio, and I hope you come by again soon when the EP comes out. And,
it smells really nice here.